For more on the political fallout from the riots on Wednesday, we welcome NBC's Chuck Todd. Chuck, good morning.
Good morning.
Where is this all headed? Because there's talk of the 25th Amendment, There's talk of impeachment, but what are Republicans? This lies, whatever happens, it's what Republicans decide to do. Where are Republicans' heads this morning?
Right now, protect the president from himself. So, for instance, there's been a concerted campaign, and I've talked to a couple of longtime national security folks in Republican circles who have helped lead a campaign to convince the current National Security Advisor, Robert O'Brien, don't resign. His deputy, Matthew Pottinger, was one of the first to resign. Don't resign. And it's my understanding that the National Security Advisor is willing to stay till the 20th, essentially be the adult supervision, however you want to look at it. But he said, I could get fired. You know, that's it. It is sort of, he is the bulwark, and that is the concern now, because frankly, the 25th Amendment issues, I talked to one person inside the administration who admitted with all the acting secretaries, it's not even clear that it could work. And then there's a concern it would turn him into a martyr with some of his supporters, and it would almost be self-defeating. So the real campaign right now inside the Republican Party is essentially to protect the president from himself.
It's so interesting because you are seeing longtime allies who before would not dare speak one word against the president start to at least tiptoe across that line, even someone like Ted Cruz or Lindsey Graham. You saw the Wall Street Journal editorial board. It's conservative. It's not never Trump, but it isn't necessarily pro-Trump. But for the editorial board of the Wall Street Journal to say he should resign is pretty extraordinary.
It is, and let's remember who owns the Wall Street Journal, Rupert Murdoch, okay? One of the conservative media icons who also owns Fox News. New York Post turned on President Trump last week when it came to his behavior. Now you have the Wall Street Journal. What that Wall Street Journal editorial page means a lot to Senate Republicans. I always say if you were to put the media and as the avatar for a Republican leader, Mitch McConnell and the Wall Street Journal editorial page are probably each other's avatar. The editorial page gives cover to other elected Republicans to essentially say the same thing. And what it does is it creates an environment that sort of both isolates the president, but perhaps keeps the Republican Party intact.
But here's the thing. I mean, the Trump supporters are devoted. That we know. And they make up, it's not some fringe group. There's a huge amount of people in this country who believe his claims about the election and support him.
This is why you talk to a lot of Republicans and they think that maybe this is a third, that it's going to be three parties. That there is, because the elected Republican leadership does not have a connection with the rank and file and the grassroots of what is the Republican Party. Look, the president called into the RNC, the Republican National Committee yesterday, and got roaring applause. You know, in the places, the House Republicans, the grassroots of the Republican Party, it's still Donald Trump's party. It isn't the Wall Street Journal or Mitch McConnell's party.
All right. Well, Chuck, we'll continue to watch it.